Lovely Sauron on 1. It's our 3rd airship opponent in a row. I think it's this, with me hedging, Cull not on the right, because I don't want to get completely smoked by Shang. Only mostly smoked. We're only mostly smoked. Look at that, chat. We played her on the dickhead and they had him. That's a peak case of Shag Braid if I ever saw one. I have a question, chat. Is Windows 11 just like you have to pay money for licenses of Windows 11, right? I reinstalled a fresh copy recently, and why is Norton 360 installed on my computer? I just had a Norton 360 alert pop up, letting me know something had. Then I buy a pre-built computer. I mean, I installed Windows from the download on Microsoft.com. My PC came from a place that does pre-builts. But I literally just reinstalled Windows myself from a install that I downloaded from Microsoft.com. Oh, I'm aware I don't need Norton. I'm uninstalling it now. I just literally didn't know it was on my computer after a fresh Windows install. Restart my computer to finish this process. Nope. Not doing that. The U.S. has announced evacuations out of Israel for American citizens. I'm sure that means everything's about to be fine, yeah? Tania's Nova, she is. We're getting Nimrod in chat. This is Galactus. No, it's the Kid Omega deck that's been going around. Oh, there's the kid. Martyr kills us. I think Martyr kills us. Oh, it's a tie. Martyr moves to tie the game because Kid Omega is -1. That's so funny. This chick. Just to set the tone for these. Wow, this is a new baby whale, chat. This person not only has Kid Omega, but they used one of the emotes from the new event as well. Meaning they're well into the triple digits on spending into high voltage. And I promise you that they are probably far from the only one. And this is not someone who's been playing Snap for forever. Their collection level is 6,300. And I would bet dollars to donuts that if they spent that much money on that event, they probably haven't been playing for very long, and their collection level is probably largely dollar-based too. Is leader playable in any deck? Not currently. Leader meta was peak step. It was something. It was something. First time, opponent. That's funny right there. Apparently, when you swipe the credit card, it doesn't teach you how the cards work. We'd have lost if they would have activated correctly, right? Kid Omega would have been 12. They would have had 12 here and 12 here. Oh, I guess they wouldn't have points on Venom in the middle. Maybe it just works out different and we're okay because they couldn't destroy left or right because of the Crimson Cosmos. Kid Omega gets made available for collector's tokens in the middle of July. It's going to be a minute. Kid Omega won't be directly purchasable, though. It just goes straight into the Seasonal Series 5 pack. It'll get added into the Rotator as well. It just won't have a spot in the shop where it's available for a week. You'll have to wait for it to come up in your rotation.
Oh, snap. Opponent snapped.
The auto liquefy option in Shadowverse is already a better UI than Pocket Alone. It's hard for me to put into words how good the software is for Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. It is legitimately the best piece of application software I've ever experienced for a digital card game. Has all the features you would expect to want. Has in-client tournaments. You had spectator, just like pound for pound, feature for feature. Actually insane. Just like tons of things on day one that I've spent decades. I spent decades asking for in Magic the Gathering and like would like in Snap, but they're just probably never happening in these other platforms. Is it on mobile? It is on mobile, yeah. Yeah, Android, iOS, and Steam. I also personally been finding the game fun. I played it a couple hours again this morning. It's gonna be part of our regular content schedule here in the short term at least. The old Rock Chantress here. Nothing discarded, excuse me? Oh, Morgan Le Fay. It's funny. Ooh, Rock's actually not a bad draw, so lets me do this and then play cleanly for all of them without having to gamble at Titania. Well, our deck's been winning games, we just haven't been drawing Nightmare to do it. Nightmare desperately needs an aura on the cards to give you a visual indicator that you have something with a nightmare effect.
Victory.
Our Moon Girl Sauron deck's been pretty alright, though. Been having fun and winning games here. Nightmare's just been a little shy for us. Could you have played Titania middle? If they play 2 cards, she stays. If they play 1 card, she comes back. Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, that's a great catch. We could have Titania middle with them having only 2 slots there. That's a great catch. There's an aura for them on mobile. Oh, it's just missing in the PC client? That's interesting. Okay, hopefully that's a bug then. That's gonna get fixed. I haven't played with Nightmare on mobile yet. That's good. It's good to answer. Usually they're pretty good about giving visual indicators on cards that have changed like that or effects that are going on. I was surprised that it wasn't there.
Snap. Opponent snapped.
As a sign of solidarity for people who can't spend $100 on it, and as a mark of protest towards the game mode being formatted in a way that's absolutely trash, I am putting my money where my mouth is, and I am not getting Kid Omega until it's available for tokens. Because again, the strongest message you can send Second Dinner that the game mode is problematic is not spend your gold or your time on it. Spending gold to get Kid Omega is not opting out of the game mode. It's giving Second Dinner the message that, hey, we could just do this and people are gonna pay it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Wong, Spider Ham, Blade.
I'm about to juice this up.
I'm losing the left is the problem.
Wakanda forever.
Oh, we know they have Black Panther. Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
That's the proving ground, so we're staying every time, but super cooked. Bad location variance there.
Opponent snapped. Oh, snap.
Lovely Sorin. Well, Bishop on 3, Nightmare on 4, most likely. Something, something, wealth transfer, something, something. Thanks, Frolic. Appreciate the over 2 years. Welcome back. Ugh, I want to play here just in case this turns into a forge. I accept. It's just Nightmare here. This is Iceman. Probably want to do that. Who are you? Iron Lad. That's not very useful in our deck. Cerebro 5 Enjoyer. None of these are relevant, right? Bob and Titania traded. Mantis. I guess Mantis might draw something useful. Nope, never once. Is this Cerebro plus a Tau on the right over here? Looks like Tau is behind Ancient One. Moon Girl is having a moment here. It's not happy. Oh, it was because she was Iron Ladding. She was Iron Ladding something with no ability. That's funny. Shadowverse Worlds Beyond is the new Shadowverse game we've been playing. We are very, very dead, unfortunately. Just want a few more shakes after the ad break, but so far I'm definitely leaning towards, and I think this is gonna be Nightmare's kind of core problem, is you can't play tech cards with Nightmare, right? Because he gets rid of the text box on your cards. So it's kind of a classic, okay, our deck has to be linear by the way it's constructed, but also the numbers we're putting up on the board aren't quite big enough to keep up with other linear things that are going on in the metagame. So, like, if it's good enough, it's probably good into things that are, like, playing tech-ish cards, because we can, like, dodge those by playing out on the last turn of the game. But against other things like, you know, even Cerebro 5, that's normally a deck that's bad because it gets kicked over by a bunch of things, its numbers are big enough that we can't keep up with them, and we're not kicking them. Yeah, Cerebro 5 is a deck that pretends tech cards don't exist, which largely isn't true, but it means when they run into a deck like ours that's not bigger than them and doesn't have tech cards because of Nightmare, they're going to get too over the top of us. All right, have an advert. We'll try a few more at this when we get back, and then we got one other build loaded up, and we'll see where the day takes us. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Jace, you had a deck submission for me, right? You sent some bits in earlier. Are you still hanging out? I'm gonna run my trash upstairs from my lunch and put my hummus in the fridge, but maybe we'll do your deck next. Think you have a Nightmare deck for me? Back for another round. Nuisance. Thanks for the almost 2.5 years. Appreciate it. Finish an alliance mission. Easy game. What changes is second dinner making the high voltage overdrive. To my knowledge, they are not implementing any changes. They updated the ban list last night because the ban list went live incorrect based on their announcement, but other than that, I don't believe there are any changes coming. Thanks, Jace. I got you. Guest said there is a big announcement coming tomorrow, explicitly regarding high voltage overdrive or regarding Marvel Snap in general. Explicitly regarding high voltage overdrive. Okay. I'm just hiding this in here. I was about to say their cards have their costs not modified, but that is a nightmare in Mobius. LOL. LOL.
I'm about to juice this up.
This is the Titania and then Starbrand. With the reason being, I only need 8 in the middle to win. If they play 1 card, I send Titania over and they send her back. They play 2 cards, she can't jump to begin with. If they play no cards, Starbrand is beating her here anyways. The old Ultron Infinite here for the opponent. The Ultranaut.
Opponent snapped. Oh, snap.
How do you feel about Nightmare visually making the card the artwork of the other card while keeping the stats? I don't know. Like, what variant would you pick, I guess, is part of the question, too. It's just kind of complicated. Can you understand? There's no strings on me, indeed. Damn, Dream Dimension here is so sad. If this wasn't Dream Dimension, I would have been able to Frigga my Ebony Maw. I need more than 15 on the left while also winning the center. This is 9-16. Right? 9-16. Because they only have 6 energies, so like if they're just infidauting me here, I win the non-infinite lanes with this play.
Victory.
I will say when this deck works, it makes me happy. I like these cheeky, kind of lowish power Moon Girl decks where you play out on the last turn. Would you be willing to play some Anti-Venom for the Whale Track variant owners? I think if you own a Whale Track Anti-Venom and you're asking me to play a deck, you definitely have enough money to subscribe to the Twitch streamer you're making a request to. Listen, gamers, Second Dinner makes millions of dollars a month. If you're spending hundreds on Marvel Snap, you should make sure to support your favorite content creators for at least a $5.
Oh, snap. Opponent snapped.
And the crowd goes out. You know, it's funny, Magic the Gathering actually had a much lower average viewer count for me than like what Marvel Snap had at its peak. But Magic actually had a stronger average subscriber count because that game's just like made of whales. Is that a yes? Tomorrow morning's deck highlight on the YouTube channel will be an anti-venom deck that I used to climb through the 90s. I don't know that we're gonna get to anti-venom today. Thank you for the guilt-ridden subscription. I'm not sure you can play Magic if you're not well. Absolutely not. Magic is a Wales only game. Yes, I used to have a metafy page if people prefer to support through a non-Amazon means.
The mystery intrigues me.
What did we get? Wong, Helicarrier. Okay, now that's funny right there. So Nightmare gave me Helicarrier and Corvus, and then the Corvus discarded the Helicarrier. That's just good, clean living if I ever saw it. My adult son was talking about getting into Magic, and I was like, please put your money somewhere else. Do people play Magic because of the prestige? Honest question. I assume a majority of people who still play Magic the Gathering play it purely because of the social components. They play it because their friends play it. It's funny, there's a very common saying in the Magic the Gathering community, it's not about the magic, it's about the gathering, which I always found funny because to me, it sounds like you're kind of saying the game kind of sucks, but it's fine if you play it with people you like. And if that's the case, why wouldn't I just play a game that I like with people I like?
The future.
Getting dangerously close to the F word there, Jeff. I am, I know. Ink gets this.
Flame on!
Hey man, I'm cool.
Power must be controlled.
My power has been controlled. Well, it's interesting we have another double patch plus OTA week. Next week? Is it next week? Yeah. 24, 26. I think that's one of my most eye-rolling / funny takes I've seen, Andre. I saw And it made me extra laugh because the person that said it, their account was already blocked on my Twitter. It was someone else that I follow replying to it. So I saw it, they were saying Marvel Snap is more expensive to keep up with than Magic the Gathering. Which, for context, for Magic the Gathering versus Marvel Snap in terms of pricing, one of the premier Magic the Gathering content creators does a giveaway for a booster box every time a set comes out. And for this most recent one, he told the people who won he would send them a PlayStation 5 or a booster box because sending them a PlayStation 5 was cheaper. And obviously, because the PlayStation 5 was cheaper, nobody took that. He sent out 5 booster boxes to the winners, but... But it was just like, just big, super big LOL energy. Occasionally tidbits of Magic the Gathering like that creep onto my feed from other people that I still follow, and it just makes me chuckle and shake my head. That was an above average Cull Obsidian there. Bringing a Starbrand along for the ride. My Titanians are a little bit of a liability here. Oh my goodness, the Crossbones has an activate. That's funny. I think we're cooked. Oh, lucky.
Victory.
410 Scarlet Spider actually seems really good. It's very strong. Man, their nightmares were above average that game too, huh? As the primary resource on Hood variants is the new one best in slot. The new one's automatically best in slot because the new one gives you an alt art demon. Makes it an automatic cut above. I think you could make compelling arguments that the Hood art is only on par with some of the other Hood arts. It's a good piece of art, but I don't know that it's markedly better than existing ones. But when you factor in that it has an alt art thing on top of it, you're like, yeah, this is the best around. No one's ever gonna bring it down. My number one recommendation when people tell me they play Magic as a primarily social game with their friends is I really just can't recommend Dice Throne enough. Very, very, very well put together system and game. And they're actually going to be coming to digital here later this year, I believe. Or at some point, they funded their Kickstarter. Really, really well done card battler experience contained in a box.
I'm about to juice this up.
Yes, they even have co-op missions that you can play together as a team, which are great. In the past, you said you played Magic competitively. How much were you spending to keep up? A lot of the cards I was buying for Magic, a lot of my Magic the Gathering wasn't me spending my own money. And I had people that would send me stuff. Like I had a gentleman that owned most of the legacy staples that he'd like mail me, you know, $2,000 to $10,000 with insurance through the postage. The only time I had to consistently buy cards was like the week one of a new format. Nobody had stuff.
I am the Sorcerer Supreme.
We're playing for a tiebreaker here with the Rickety Bridge. The old Maximus Strange Supreme here on the right. We're more than a little behind in terms of tiebreaker, huh? Unfortunately. I'm currently down 10 on board, and I'm only adding 14, so we are dead. It's a shame Yiggis Drill made their nightmare not be negative, otherwise they could have lost the center. Oh, could Hydra Bob win the center? No, I stepped on one. This is, what's it called? Silver Conquest. Pushing the button early and often. Our opponent's just taking it a little bit more serious than we are.
Oh, snap.
Yes, I also had sponsors that would lend me digital cards as well, because Magic's digital version had trading. So it actually didn't cost me money to keep up digitally either. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Do I Sauron this turn first? I think I do, yeah? So that way my Ebony Maw and Starbrand can be playable. I'm a little sad if I draw Moon Girl next turn, but I'm extra happy if we find Maw or Starbrand, so. Cool. Bishop would be our best top deck, because it would allow us to contest Quantum Realm when they don't have a good means of doing that. Jessica Jones? Sure is. Hey! There's the droid I was looking for. Another Sauron, Rocket Raccoon, Yondu, Ebony Maw. Freaking Ebony Maw. Alright, well, they're playing here, right? So we'll barter here. Oh wow, I didn't think they'd actually play Max on curve. So I got punished here for not playing out more cards because it made sense not to play more cards because I could only draw a call and then I could call plus 2 1s. But like obviously I would have liked to Scarbrand. Well, I guess I could still Starbrand in 3 1s. Yeah, this is fine. I think I play for all three, though. This is 17 up to 20. And this is... Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, they just can't compete in the center. The bishop draw in 5 was so good for us. Meaning that we had a freebie to compete in the center in the otherwise big card stack matchup.
Victory.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for years. I have multiple friends who spent hundreds on the new packs without even having an intention to play. Yeah, I mean, unironically, credit where credit is due. Magic the Gathering's Universes Beyond is the singular smartest business decision they've ever done. They've fumbled the specific implementation in a couple of spots, obviously, especially with the upcoming Marvel bits, but in general, it was a really smart marketing move to bring people organically into their game. Same thing with like all the crossovers in Fortnite.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Snap. Opponent snap.
And for what it's worth to everyone at home, I always ascribe to the, don't yuck someone else's yum. If you're having a good time with Magic the Gathering, you should absolutely play games and enjoy games that you have a good time with. It's just for me personally, I have a much better experience like taking the money it would take for me to enjoy Magic casually and buying other things to enjoy casually instead. I think I want a bishop before I nightmare here. I was like, wait, they're a nightmare deck? It was my nightmare out of the Daily Bugle.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Angela, Dracula, Ramona. Venom. Meek. Shadow King. Agony. I think I want an Iron Lad. I think I'm gonna do this. Because if this hits Moon Girl, we get extra Bob and then go like Starbrand, Bob, Martyr. Oh, we could hit Titania. I didn't think about that. Monka Titania. The animations really don't love Ironland.
Victory.
It's the second time we've iron landed on a 4-drop and it's hung.
Oh, snap. Opponent snapped.
A 0 the star brand here. Oh, well now we're zeroing them all, yeah. Have you played much of Biscrap? I have not. I've basically only been playing Portals and Shadowverse. We played a little bit of the Dragons this morning, and they were kind of the build that I had. Alright, so this punts the left. But I think I'm okay with that. I'll just pretend I'm a corporate Democrat and punt the left and try and pander to the right here. No, Jeff, that never works. We might lose the center here. Titania, pretend you're Liz Cheney. Let me parade you around. Is there a gameplay reason to play a 3 on a space when it's not Asteroid M, knowing it will move to the left? Yes, if my opponent plays a Cosmo, they had priority. So whenever you're playing an on reveal that's a 3 or a 4 and you don't have priority, you always want to play it off Asteroid M because their Cosmo is guaranteed to end on Asteroid M. This is just a good old-fashioned flip here at the end. Okay, they played for the right, so the question is, are we enough? Mommy! We good? We good. Have a rock. Have some squirrels. That's a good question, yeah. That's good. That's a good play pattern to get auto put into your brain. Anytime you're playing a 3 or 4 that's an on reveal and you don't have priority and Asteroid M is out, you always play it off Asteroid M because if they play Cosmo on their turn, their dog's gonna end up over here. Good. Commit this one to memory. It's something you all basically always want to be doing. There's some niche chance, like maybe they have something that could change the location that changes that consideration, but in general, it's a good one to commit to memory. Honestly, I feel like I could stamp exceeds expectations on this pile of cards. I think it worked exactly on paper how we drew it up. It did a pretty good job of spreading out resources or points across the board in ways that was easy to mask exactly how many stats that we were going to have. The mixture of both Sauron and Nightmare allowed Moon Girl to have cheap threats with good cube equity that we could pump out, and then Bishop was a nice scaling threat here. So we originally were talking about like Hitmonkey and maybe Black Swan in this deck, but Hitmonkey's a pretty big non-bow with Nightmare because Nightmare is going to take the text off of it, whereas like Bishop, you could play Bishop on 3 and then Nightmare on 4, and then Bishop's kind of a Hitmonkey that like sits on the board, so to speak, while you work your way up to it. Or even in a perfect world, you go like Bishop on 3, Moon Girl on 4, Nightmare on 5, and then play a bunch of ones on the last turn of the game to power him up. Looks like we ended up batting a little bit over 500 with this deck, which is not bad. Went 7 and 7 and 6 in our rounds of Conquest. I had fun. It's not hard to sell me on a Moon Girl deck, so it feels remotely playable. I'm pretty happy with that. So if you're looking to get some Nightmare weekend missions done, I think this is a great way